She didn't even let me step out of my truck before the yelling started. The moment my tires touched the old gravel drive of my family farm, land my great-grandfather bought with his own hands, Karen from the HOA marched toward me like she owned the whole county. Her sunglasses were tilted, hair stiff with spray, and she waved a stack of papers like a weapon. "You can't park here," she shouted. "This property is under our HOA now. Leave your vehicle and step away." I looked at the dusty red barn, the same one I played in as a kid, and felt something twist inside me. I had spent 15 years away, serving as a military instructor, saving every dollar to buy this farm back. And now this woman was acting like I was trespassing on my own bloodline. I kept calm. I didn't even raise my voice. "Ma'am, this land is mine." She laughed, the kind that drips with arrogance. "Not anymore. We expanded our borders. You're in the HOA zone now, and you owe us $1,800 in violation fees for that illegal vehicle and unapproved barn color." I slowly stepped closer. "The barn is 100 years old. And it's not beige," she snapped. "We only allow beige." Before I could answer, she pulled out her phone. "You have 30 seconds to leave before I call the police." I shrugged. "Go ahead." She didn't expect that. Her eyes narrowed, but she dialed anyway, turning her back to me like she was the sheriff herself. "Yes, officers? We have an armed trespasser threatening HOA staff." I froze. Armed? I wasn't carrying anything except my keys. She looked over her shoulder with a smirk. "You're done. They'll be here in 2 minutes." My heartbeat stayed steady. What she didn't know, what she couldn't know, was that I had already seen the cruiser hiding behind the old pecan trees. I asked them to wait there. I had a reason. Because this wasn't just any police unit. It was my old squad. And they were already recording. A minute later, 2 officers stepped out and walked straight toward us. Karen rushed to them, pointing at me dramatically. "Arrest him! He's dangerous!" Both officers glanced at her, then looked at me, and their faces changed. "Captain Hayes," one of them said, "you set this up, right?" Karen froze mid-sentence, confusion spreading across her face. I just smiled. "You wanted cops, Karen, so I brought the right ones." Her mouth opened, no sound. And that's when everything started to fall apart for her. Karen blinked fast, like her brain couldn't catch up with what she was seeing. "Captain," she whispered, looking between me and the officers. "What do you mean, Captain?" "He's a trespasser. He threatened me." Officer Daniels, broad shoulders, steady voice, the guy who trained under me for years, stepped a little closer to her. "Ma'am, we already watched the live feed. Nobody threatened you." Her face went pale. "Live? Feed?" I didn't let her recover. "Yeah, I've had cameras on this property since the day I bought it back. You know, in case someone tried exactly what you just did." She stumbled back a step, gripping her clipboard like it was a life jacket. You can't record me. That's illegal." "It's my land," I said. "Everything on it gets recorded." The other officer, Ruiz, lifted a small tablet and tapped the screen. The footage of her fake report played loud enough for her to hear her own lies. Karen's lips trembled. "This is being taken out of context." "No," I said calmly. "This is the context." She tried switching tactics instantly, her tone going from angry to sugary sweet. "Look, maybe we can just forget this. You didn't file any paperwork with our HOA. We just need you to register your home and, follow the rules." I stepped closer, and she stiffened. "This farm isn't in your HOA," I said. "It never has been. And your expansion plan?" I pulled the folded map I'd been keeping in my back pocket. "You drew a line through land that wasn't for sale. Karen snatched the papers out of instinct, scanned them, then shook her head. No, no, this can't be right. My husband handles the maps. He said this land is ours. He said everyone agreed. Officer Daniels raised an eyebrow. Your husband? She nodded quickly. He's the HOA president. Daniels sighed. Funny, because his signature on this expansion document you posted online, it's forged. Karen's breath hitched so hard, I heard it. I leaned in just a little. You should have checked who you were messing with before you tried to steal my land. Her eyes darted around the farm. My barn, my fields, the old farmhouse porch. Even though she had treated it all like it belonged to her. She wasn't scared because she got caught. She was scared because she realized something she didn't want to say out loud. This wasn't some random veteran she tried to bully. I was someone with reach, and she had walked right into the one place she should have avoided. And when Officer Ruiz's radio crackled, the dispatcher's voice said loud and clear, "Be advised, more units en route regarding a complaint about HOA interference on private property." Karen swallowed hard. She finally understood this wasn't going away, and I wasn't even done yet. Karen backed away as the radio crackled again, like the sound itself was pushing her. For the first time, she didn't have words. No yelling, no orders, just fear working its way across her face. Officer Daniels folded his arms. "Ma'am, we need you to stay right here until the other units arrive." She shook her head fast. No, this is a misunderstanding. I was just doing my job. My husband told me this land was included. He told me to enforce the rules." I said quietly, "And you didn't think to check anything before calling cops on someone standing on their own property?" Her eyes snapped toward me. "I thought you were lying." I didn't react. I just looked past her, toward the tree line where a second cruiser rolled up slowly, lights off, but ready. Karen turned and saw it too. That's when something broke inside her. She pointed a shaky finger at me. "You don't understand. If this expansion fails, the HOA loses money. We already pre-sold 30 new lots. My husband said this farm was abandoned. He said we had to act fast." I stared at her. "So you tried taking the land first and asking questions later?" Her voice cracked. "We didn't think anyone would come back." The officers exchanged looks, like they were silently saying, "Yup, there it is." But I wasn't surprised. My family farm had been empty for years before I bought it back. The HOA thought it was forgotten land, easy to swallow up. They didn't expect anyone to fight for it, especially not someone like me. I kept my voice low but steady. "Karen, do you know why I bought this place back?" She didn't answer. I nodded toward the barn. "My dad passed here. My mom fought cancer in that house. This land was everything they had. I wasn't going to let anyone take it." A small crowd of neighbors started gathering at the edge of the gravel drive. Quiet, curious, whispering as they saw the officers surrounding Karen. Some pulled out phones. Some already knew the HOA's reputation. Karen's eyes stretched wide when she saw she suddenly had an audience. No, stop filming," she shouted. "This is private HOA business." Officer Ruiz corrected her flatly. "Ma'am, this is a police investigation, and this is private property. His property." I stepped aside, letting everyone see her clearly. Her voice broke. "Please, don't ruin my life. My husband handles the documents, not me." I tilted my head. "Then why did you post the eviction notice on my door this morning?" She froze like she'd been slapped. I watched her throat tighten. She had no excuse, no way to twist it. Officer Daniels stepped forward. Ma'am, we need you to give a statement about the forged signature, the false police report, and the attempted eviction. Karen's knees almost buckled. I didn't forge anything. My husband gave me the papers. I swear. Oh, don't worry, I said calmly. You're not the only one we're calling in. And right on cue, another truck turned down the road. Karen's face drained completely, because sitting in that truck was her husband, and he had no idea he was walking straight into the trap I set hours ago. Her husband stepped out of the truck with the same arrogance she had shown earlier, chin high, sunglasses on, a clipboard tucked under his arm, like it was a badge of honor. He didn't even scan the scene first. He just stormed forward. "What's going on here?" he barked. "Why are there cops on HOA property?" I didn't move. I just watched him walk right into the middle of the circle, exactly where I wanted him. Officer Daniels glanced at me, then at him. "Sir, this is not HOA property." The man scoffed. "Of course it is. We expanded last month." I raised an eyebrow. With whose permission? His confidence cracked just a little. "The board's, obviously." Officer Ruiz held up the printed document he had been reviewing. "Then maybe you can explain why your name is signed on a file dated 3 months before the public vote." Karen shot him a desperate look. "Please don't lie now." But he didn't understand the trap yet. He rolled his eyes. "Because I signed it early. The board approved it later. It's standard practice." Ruiz shook his head slowly. "That's not how legal expansion works. And we already verified with the county office. This land was never part of your proposal." A few neighbors murmured. Some even laughed. The HOA president finally looked around, and he realized the entire neighborhood was watching. Cameras out, recording, picking up every word. His jaw tightened. "This doesn't concern them." "It does," I said softly. "Because you tried to sell land you don't own." His eyes snapped to me then. Sharp, hateful, but scared. "You again. Listen, I know your type. You can't just claim land because your granddaddy once owned it." I pulled out the county deed from my truck door. The paper was old, but the updated title on top wasn't. I bought it back legally. Cash, clean. "Every inch of this soil is mine." He opened his mouth to argue, but then he saw the official seal. His expression collapsed. Karen whispered urgently, "Say something. Fix it." But it was too late. Officer Daniels stepped between us. "Sir, we also have video of your wife filing a false report and attempting an unlawful eviction." He paused. "Do you want to add obstruction and fraud to that list?" Karen grabbed her husband's arm. "Just tell them the truth, please." But he pulled away from her like she was the problem, not him. "Do you know how much money we spent on those pre-sold lots?" he snapped. I stepped closer. Not my problem. For the first time, his voice shook. "You're going to destroy us." I stared at him for a long moment, and then I said quietly, "No, you destroyed yourselves the second you tried stealing someone else's land." Officer Ruiz signaled to a third unit that had just arrived. "We'll need you both to come with us for questioning." Karen's face crumpled. Her husband tried to keep a steady posture, but even he couldn't hide the shaking in his hands. The officers guided them toward the cruisers. As they passed me, Karen looked up with wet eyes. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. I answered simply, "Because this land wasn't just dirt and fences to me. It was my family, and you tried to erase that." She swallowed hard, but no words came back. The doors shut. The cruisers pulled away. The neighborhood stayed silent for a moment, like everyone needed time to process what they just witnessed. Then an older neighbor stepped forward. "You really trapped them, didn't you?" I nodded once. They walked right into it. He smiled. "Good. Someone needed to stop them." I looked across the fields, the tall grass swaying, the porch light flickering, the barn door hanging slightly open, just the way my dad left it the day he passed. For the first time in years, the farm felt alive again. "I didn't fight for this country," I said quietly, "to be told I can't stand on my own land." The crowd slowly dispersed. The sun started to drop behind the hills, and I walked up the porch steps of my 100-year-old family farm, free, peaceful, and finally home.